Hello, this is Brenda Green, and I'd like to welcome you to Living in the Go. Today, I want to talk to you about paying off your credit card. A lot of people talk to me about their credit cards and the best way to do that because they're trying to get rid of their credit card debt. And that is our ultimate goal, to be debt free, to live that way continuously and not have that worry or burden. So, there are a couple of ways that you can do it. So, let's get into it. So there are two types of ways that you can pay your credit card debt off successfully. The terms are called the Avalanche or the Snowball. And so let's talk about the Avalanche first. So you pay your highest interest bill first, and then when you complete that one, then you pay the next highest interest bill, and so on and so on. And the way you do that is, let's say you have 4 credit cards. One of them, the interest rate is 25%, which is extremely high. Then the next one is maybe 15%, then the next one is 13%, and then 12%. So you have those 4 bills. So you throw everything you have at that highest interest one to get that knocked out. And on the other 3 bills, you pay the minimum amount to keep them current. The reason you do that is because the one with the highest interest rate, you're spending so much extra money just to keep that one going. If the interest rate is 25%, then 25% of the minimum that you would pay on this bill is gone. And so basically, it will take you 15, 20 years to pay off that bill. But if you throw everything at it, more than the minimum, you get it paid a lot quicker. And you can find ways to calculate how fast that would be for you. But that's the Avalanche. And a lot of people like that way because it saves them money in the long run and you get things paid off quicker. Now, the Snowball account or the Snowball way of paying bills is different because you pay the smallest amount to the highest. So again, if you have 4 bills, but let's say one of them, the balance is $800. The next one is $1,300, and then you got one for $5,000, and then one for $8,000. I hope you don't have that, but if you do, because some people do, then this is how you pay the Snowball. So you pay off that smallest bill first. So again, you put the minimums on those other 3 bills, and you put as much as you can on that smallest bill and get rid of it. Then you only have 3 bills to go. And what it does for you psychologically, it's like low-hanging fruit because you've paid off a bill, you feel great about it. I used to do this little ching ching thing every time I got a bill paid off because it made me feel so good. And I'll tell you, it's a lot easier to try to maneuver with 3 bills versus 4. So if you knock that small one out, then you're just concerned about 4 bills. Because sometimes when you have too many bills to worry about, something can slip through the cracks and you may not pay everything on time because you're trying to keep track of so many things. So be successful and use a Snowball and pay that smallest one off first, and then you go to the next bill and you throw everything at that, the next smallest bill. When that's paid off, then you go to the next. It sometimes takes longer to pay off the Snowballs because you're not looking at the interest on it. You're just paying the small amounts, but that's okay. It's still getting the job done. And actually, that may be something that works better for you to have that success early on. But again, the Avalanche will pay them off quicker for you. Just something to think about. As always, I do have my beliefs, so I want to share those with you. So you want to be consistent when you're paying your credit card bills. It doesn't matter about the amount. What matters is that you pay them each and every month and on time. That's the critical piece of this. Not only do you get the bills paid off, but it helps you to build your credit score as well, your FICO score, and that's important too. Debt is like bondage, and that's the whole purpose of it. These credit card companies want to make sure that you stay in bondage to them. The interest rates get high, you can hardly pay the bills, you make one little slip up, you pay late, or you go over your limit, and they increase the interest rate on you. And they do that for a reason, so they can continue to make money on you. They don't care what the principal is on it, they're making money off the interest. So the longer you're in credit card debt, the more money these companies make. So you don't want to be in bondage. You want to find a way to get out from under, and paying those cards off the best way possible will do that for you. They don't tell you how credit works. So a lot of times people make mistakes with credit cards because they aren't aware. I mean, when you have these credit card companies going down to the colleges, so when kids first get to school, they're offered a credit card and a t-shirt or a pizza. Well, that's just wrong because people aren't aware of how credit works and they get in trouble right away. So again, bondage. Don't be afraid to negotiate with your credit card companies because you can make a phone call and say, please lower my interest rate. I've been a customer for this amount of time. And if they don't, you know, if they tell you no, don't stop there. Ask for their supervisor. Continue trying to negotiate to get those rates down. And if they don't, remember that because eventually you will get out of debt. You don't have to be a customer of theirs ever again and tell all your friends and put it on media in terms of how they treated you. Other thing you could do if something comes in the mail with zero interest, switch your card over and pay with the zero interest until it's paid for. But try everything you can to negotiate a lower interest rate. You don't need 10 credit cards. I tell people that all the time. People have a wallet full of cards and it just doesn't make sense. If you have a lot of retail credit cards, and that's for the stores like a Target or a Macy's or Sears or whatever, you don't need those cards because they tell you we're going to give you an extra 10% off your purchase if you use this card, or you get an extra little discount. It just makes you want to buy things more that you can't afford. If you have one or two cards, a Visa or a MasterCard, use those because they are used everywhere and you could purchase what you need and get those and pay your bill off every month. A lot of times too, when you have too many credit cards, it's hard to keep up because you might lose track, you may pay something late, and those store cards are deadly. The interest rates go from anywhere from 22% to 24%. So if you miss a month, guess what? They tack that interest on and there you go. So just don't do it. The best sleep that I ever had was when I paid off all my credit card debt. Because there was a time when I had a ton of credit card debt. It was scary. I wasn't sure how it was going to all work out for me. And I did the best I could with it, but it was just horrendous. When it was finally done and I finally achieved my goal of being debt free, I slept like a baby. And it made me realize I never want to have debt again. And I have not because it was just so trying for me. So think about that. And last but not least, credit card debt robs your future. When you have credit card debt, you're paying those bills every month, you have no extra money left to put in your savings and your retirement to pay for your kids for college. None of that because your future is being taken up with credit card debt. So try not to do it. Try to pay those bills off as quickly as you can. And once you are debt free, do not go back into debt. That's the worst thing that you could do. So I would like to thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope this was helpful for you. If you like it, hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and tell all your friends because, again, we're sharing information. We're building a community here so that people can be knowledgeable about all aspects of their life. This is holistic. So your wealth, your health, everything is so important. So have a great day and stay safe out there.